everyone, it's Charlene, one half of the Flights of Fancy Stitchers. I will apologize right now for the glare. The sun is just screaming in our sliding glass door, so you can't see my eyes, but I promise I'm looking at you. Well, looking at the camera anyway. It is the 12th of November. I think it's the 12th. Isn't today the 12th? Yeah, today's the 12th of November, and it's about 2:30 on Tuesday afternoon. And Preston just left for work. We got another snowstorm coming in tonight, so I waited until he left. Itchy Nose is already starting to get my filming done. Thank you for all the comments and the messages and everything we received in our last video. We are fine. The official snow report for our area was 33 inches. That was in 4 or 5 day time frame, give or take. We did have a 1 day reprieve in there, and then it came back in again. We ended up shoveling a total of 4 times, and we still have quite a bit of snow and ice out front. But it's supposed to be nice all week, so hopefully that will melt a lot of that away. As long as I've got a good path to the truck and to take my garbage can down on Thursdays, I don't care. I'm good. I never thought I'd be one of those people that I was afraid to slip and fall on ice, and I wasn't that way until about, well, it was during COVID. I slipped and fell on the ice leaving to go to the dentist, and I actually broke my wrist. And I'd had a really hard time getting into that dentist appointment, and I didn't want to reschedule it, so I'm sitting there, you know, he's doing all the work on my mouth. I had like 3-4 hours worth of dental work that I had to have done, and my wrist is just getting poofier and poofier. It was this one. It was just getting poofier and poofier. And the guy, the dentist, was actually like a field doctor when he was in the Navy, or excuse me, in the Army, when he was deployed over in Iraq. And he's sitting there and he's looking at my hand, and he was like, I'm pretty sure that's broken. So yeah, I never thought I'd be one of those people, but anyway, we're 2 minutes in and we're talking about broken wrists, which has nothing to do with cross stitch. So I will get started. I have a little tiny bit of haul. I actually have haul that I've already mailed away. I picked up some 16 count fabric because Morgan cannot find it out there at her Hobby Lobby or her Joann's. I'm not sure if she has a Michael's out there or not. I can't remember if she said. I think she does. Anyway, but I picked her up some 16 count fabric for some stuff that she's got going on. And then I was able to find all but 2 of my threads that I was still missing. So I'll show those to you. Just DMCs. There's 3 different projects combined. So my Unicorn Princess, I think I showed that one to you guys last week. And then my Autumn Leaves, which I'm pretty sure I showed you that one last week too. It's a full coverage that I'm working on. I'm missing a color in it, and then a color in the Princess, and then what was the other project? Oh, the other one was for the Stitcher's Haven, which I'm going to show you this week. I was missing the main tan that I needed, but I have it now, so when I pick it back up again, I'll be set. And then I've been having a really hard time finding the cardboard bobbins. I don't like the plastic ones. I prefer these. They're a little bit more malleable in the boxes, so I tried to go with these, but I got all that they had in the rack too. So I bought all the 18 or 16 count, and I bought all the bobbins. So if you were shopping at Michael's at River Point yesterday and couldn't find those 2 things, they're at my house. And then remember last week I told you that I was waiting for my thread to come in? Preston actually picked it up while I was filming. He texted me and let me know that it came in. So I'm in the Floss Frenzy with the Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm getting the Weeks collection and sharing the ones that I already have. I'm sharing those with Morgan. And I have about half of these. So, and I probably won't send those to her just because, well, she's hoping that they get to come out for Thanksgiving, so I'll probably just wait and give them to her then. I could have put them in with the the thread or with the fabric that I just sent her today, but I wanted to show you guys first. So, and when life gives you scraps, make a quilt. Regular coffee, and I have coconut creamer today. They didn't have the Kahlua. I was kind of sad. So, but we went to a different King's because we were in a different part of town yesterday. So, Flosstubers I've watched. Not much, because I've been really busy. I'll explain that here in a little bit in plans. But I've watched Janet Jabber. I've watched Helen D, who is the East Coast Crafter, I believe. And then, of course, Sarah. I watch Sarah every week because I love Sarah's videos. Very much an inspiration for my gazillion projects that I have going on. All right, so, oh, shoot. Hang on just a second. I got to grab my book. Sorry, guys. I forgot to grab my notebook. And I forgot to give my ornament. So I actually chanced it down twice this week. It's getting very, very full, so I'm really happy. I didn't look when I was at Michael's yesterday. For a new one. So I think I'm going to just use some of those that I got a couple of years ago. I mean, I have them when I use them. So. All right, so this is going to be in no particular order. So we'll start out with the pug. That is my 30 minutes a day stitching, and this is a words are difficult today. This is a project that I found. I'm pretty sure it was on an Etsy site. And for the life of me, I can't remember what the name of the site was. Let's look. Oh, I don't have it on there. This is the picture. Oh, that looks good. And I'm making this for one of my best friends. She loves pugs. And I did the math on it this morning, and I can't remember if I'm just over 17 or I'm almost to 18. But anyway, so I've made it all the way across, and now I'm filling in this white. So that's where I'm at. And I finally sized my fabric and whatnot, so you can see it's only 120 square, so it's not going to be huge. So that's where I'm at on that. And this I will work on until Friday, and then on Saturday I will spin a new project for my full coverage. So, and I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of getting bored with it. I'm ready for something different. So, all right, next up, let's see. I'm not sure where to go. Oh, so my thatch cottage, I have that to work on a row of 12 every month, divided into 12. So there's my thatch cottage. And if you are new here, that is from my cross-country collection from August of '97. And I finished that next row. I actually think I finished this after my video. I think I finished it that night. Maybe it was the next day. I can't remember. So this is the next row that I finished. So working on the house, got part of the window done, and then down to there. December is going to be very, very small, as you can see. I have a little bit of filling down here and then a little bit in the roof. But that's literally all I've got for December. It's going to work up really quick. Which I'm kind of glad, because then, oh goodness, here comes the yawns. I can focus on my Christmas pieces. So that makes me happy. And in sticking with my 100-day challenge that I'm doing for my 100 whips. Today I spun whip number 81. So we are on the downhill slide, which I'm so happy about. Oh, my solitaire game is telling me it's time to collect my monies. Let's see, what's next? So this one, I spun, which one is that? Oh, I spun this one on the 6th of November, and I put in 151 stitches. This is from June of '09, cross-country stitching. And I'm doing the pattern a little bit different, so I'm not doing all of this stuff on the yellow. I'm just doing, I think they actually have, as I drop it on the floor, they do. They have a picture of just the picture and the heart flowers. And I was going to make this for Preston, but I might make this for one of my besties for a birthday. I haven't decided yet. So I worked over here in these flowers, or this flower, and then I worked in the leaves. I done some of the green, and then I came down and I started on the picture. Worked in 2 different yellows. And I think, I'm trying to remember, the 6th was, I don't know if we were watching a movie or maybe Preston was at work. I can't remember when I worked on that one. Anyway, whatever. I worked on it. Let's see. Oh, I missed one before I got started on my list. So I had told you guys that I was doing a row on. Why do we yawn when we do that? I watch other floss tubers that do it too. Maybe our own voice is boring. I don't know. Anyway, so I broke this down into rows, and so I'm working on the 3rd row, and I got it done. Maybe this is the one that I got done the day after the video. I don't remember. Anyway, this is a piece of 14 count fabric that I had dyed. And so I finished that row, and then I brought my thread down and I worked on this next motif. So I'm happy with that. I gotta leave that out. I've got a string on there I need to cut off. I don't know why I did that. Which that'll be perfect, because then I'll show you this one, because this ended up being my travel piece. I took this, and I'm talking about my stitching shelf. I took this with me for a couple different things that we had going on, which worked out really well. Oh goodness, sorry guys. And then I actually took it to work on when we went into town for some stuff, but I didn't get any stitches on it. So, and then I got this one trimmed down. So, as per the norm, I'm working in fall, because that's, you know, it's fall. Oops, I'm almost ready to lose my needle. So I think I worked on, I'm trying to remember what color I worked on. I only picked up, oh, I do too know when I worked on this one. I worked on this one when I got the new tires on our pickup. I only was able to work on 2 different colors. I got there early, and a couple of people didn't show up for their appointments, so they were able to get me in early, which was really nice. I'm trying to remember. I know one of them was 300. I want to say 434 was the other one. But I think I came over and then I think I came up. I tried to pick out a couple colors that I could get a good swath in. It worked out really well because there, like I said, there wasn't a lot of people that had shown up yet for their appointments, and I was able to set next to this like bench-like thing that was sticking out of the wall. They had like advertisements and like warranty stuff and whatnot, and so I was able to prop up my tablet and work on it there. So it worked out really nice. But there wasn't a lot of people in there, so it wasn't a big deal. Let's see, number 76, day number 76. I spun December. And I put in 101 stitches on this one. This one was actually on the 7th, so this would have been last Tuesday. So I think, I'm trying to remember where I worked. I know I worked in this gray right here, or taupe, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to remember. Oh, and then I did the yellow. Because I was 6 or 7 stitches short. So I came up here, I was 6 stitches short because I did the 6 up here and then I did his beak, which made 7, which gave me the 101. So I have 4 of these. I have August, September, November, and December of these. And I put them on my whip-go board for finishes next year. So we'll see if I can get that done because they're going on 3 years old now. They should be done. So, and this is one of my profanity bags. So I'm warning you now. I've got this is some spoon flower fabric that I got. I've got all 4 of those that I have left to do in this bag. Digressing a little bit from my plans. So I worked on, obviously the coffee's not working, guys. So on Tuesday, while I watched the election results, I was going to start something patriotic. I was actually going to start, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, they were released this summer, and it was the Real Pretty Hearts that Haid released. They've got several different countries. I know for sure off the top of my head I can see the USA one and the Canadian one and the UK one. And I was actually going to start that, but of course the first 2 colors I needed I didn't have, and I didn't want to take them from another project. So I was like, you know what, this needs done. So I'm going to work on this, and I really love this project anyway. So I'm talking about Liberty Quaker. And I got a lot done. I put in 400 and some stitches. So I was really happy with it. I worked through the color palette, which was great. So I put in a whole bunch of this blue. Actually, I think I put in all of that blue. I don't think any of that was in before. And then I worked a little bit. I had a little bit of this color. It's linen. And then I worked on this star, and then I started out with this because it's the same thing. Done that. I worked on, finished the E, did the R, brought the red over in the little banner thingies, finished off a bunch of red down here. What else did I do? I think that's it. All that I have left on this page, so the pattern is in 2 pages, all that I have left to do on this page is just this little tiny bit of the flag. And then all I will have left is the second page. So, and this one was on my Whipco board for finish this year, but we can see where that got to. And it probably won't get done this year because between now and Christmas, I need to work on Christmas stuff. So, I know, terrible excuse, right? All right, I told you guys last week that I was pulling this out to finish this. And I'm talking about my eagle. And I'm going to try and get this finished for Dalton for Christmas. And so, again, I worked up in the mountains. I worked up on his wing. I'm trying to remember what else I worked on since I showed it to you. I think I worked some more on the tree. I think that was it since I showed it to you last. I haven't got to work on it for a couple days. I've got a quilt that I have to have done by Saturday. So that's kind of my priority right now. It's a gift for a friend for a party. So, yeah. All right, this one came out yesterday. This is the Star Wars Dogfight. And Morgan found this on Etsy, and then, but it did go into Pattern Keeper. And this is the Awesome Pattern Studio. They've got some really, really cool patterns. I also have the Imperial Shuttle, and then I have Boba Fett, and I think it's a Stormtrooper. I think. I can't remember for sure what the other one is I have. Anyway, Dalton picked out 4 or 5 of them. So I put 112 into this one yesterday. And I had a thread on there. So I finished off this thread, and then I worked in that blue. I pulled 948. There was a little tiny bit right there, and then I picked up, I think it was 939. I worked in there right there. Hey, Dobby, kitty, kitty, kitty. So not a lot, but sorry guys, I had to sneeze. So yeah, that one was pulled for yesterday, and this isn't going to be, or it is in for the full coverage spins. So hold that thought. Sorry guys. Everybody wants to talk to you when you're filming a video, and this is some Angry Birds fabric. I've had it forever, and then I thought this was appropriate. It's a starfish, but you know, Star Wars, starfish, star. And then the inside fabric is some fun Angry Birds fabric that I had actually made Dalton a shirt out of when he was younger. So anyway, there's that one. Let's see. On the 10th, I spun my lilac basket, and this one I put in 139 stitches. This is one of those that doesn't have a start date. This is one of my older projects. So hopefully this one gets a lot of love. I'm seriously considering taking this one, if I don't get it finished when it comes out in the monthly span, you know, for the months that I work on projects that don't have anniversary dates. I am seriously considering putting this one in to divide by 12 for a finish for next year. I think that's what I'm going to do, which would not be hard to do. So I picked up a thread of brown, and came across, and then I picked up, I picked up 209 or 208, one of the two, and I worked on this little swath of purple right here. So there's a ton of backstitch. Like all these little flowers are backstitched, and to give it the, you know, the lilac look. Pardon me. So yeah, I love this one. It's so pretty. I love those purples. But I think, like I said, depending upon where I get with it next year when I do the monthly thing, I really think that's what I'm going to do, is divide it into 12 for a finish, because the majority of the stitching that's left in it is going to be backstitch. All right, next one was my Spring Art Nouveau, which is the daffodil one right here. And this one got 122 stitches. Gotta make sure I grab the right one. Yeah. And this one, let's see where I worked. I know I pulled up the black. I did quite a bit of black. And then I think I worked a little bit of this green, and then it carried over and I worked on that green up there. Every time I pick this up, I try to do at least one swath of black, but I make sure that the other stitching, especially like if there's yellow or red or white, that one's already done. And this is some Laurel Birch. I realized the other day that I have like 3 project packs made out of this fabric. They're all different sizes, but yeah. All right, where am I at? This one is Spring Art, or Stitcher's Haven. This is the one that I was telling you about, that I was missing the tan to work in the chair right there. And this magazine is number 204, Will the Cross Stitching. So, and I had actually taken this one in, and I got it like massively blown up because there's just so much detail. And on this one, I put in 124 stitches on it. And I worked, I can't remember where I worked. I know I worked in the chair. I know I worked up here in the curtain on the outside. I did a swath of white. And I worked on this spool of thread that's back here behind the sewing machine. Can't remember where else I worked. I think it might have come down here. I know I worked on this brown, because that in here that needs filled in, that was the 422. That was the color I was missing. So, but now that I've got it blown up so I can read it better, I hope that I can give this one more attention. And the fact that I need to make it a project, because that one won't be done anytime soon. It needs a bag. All right, next one that I worked on, well, I shouldn't say next one. Another one that I worked on was Riding the Yokai. This is for Dalton. This is a Heaven and Earth Ruth Thompson piece. We actually looked for that one when we went to the Renaissance Festival to get it for him, but they didn't have that piece. So this one I'm doing on 16 count, and this one only got 121 stitches, and I'm not sure why. Maybe this was one of the days I was working on quilts, but I filled in a little bit and then picked up this blue and worked on that. I think I worked on filling in those holes. But yeah, I know the reason that I didn't get much done on this one was because I was working on quilts. So, but that's in my full coverage next year to get more attention. And then the last one was I call it Wave Star. I don't know if it really even has a name. It might have a name. Let's look and see. I don't think it has a name on the pattern. But this is another one Morgan found on an Etsy site for me. And I'm making this one for Dalton because it's got the Starry Night and then it's got the wave. And he is a huge fan of that artwork. And so I worked on this turquoise and then I worked on these blues. 163 stitches is what I put into this. And I think, yeah, I worked on that gray too. So I was happy with it. I really like this piece. I don't like this fabric. This is one of the ones that I started literally on the 31st of December in 22 because I was going to do no new starts in 23, which I did. So I started several projects, like 4 or 5 projects that day. And this was just a piece of scrap fabric. It's a tiny piece. And I'm hoping, because I haven't stitched on it a lot, as you can tell, excuse me, I'm hoping that with time it will soften up. The fabric is very, very rough, very stiff. So it's not fun to work with. But hopefully over time, worst case scenario, throw it in the washing machine, soften it up a little bit. I'm not worried. All right, so my plans moving forward is to stick with my 30 minutes a day. Like I said, on I had a terrible tickle. On Saturday, I will spend the next full coverage for the rest of the month. And then I will continue with my 100 days, which I am still on track to finish up basically on December 1st, which will be great. My wheel is getting, my chunks on my wheel are getting bigger and bigger because, you know, as I work on a project, of course, I delete it off of the wheel. So that makes me happy. And then my big thing that I will be working on are my quilts. I have, like I said, I've got this quilt that I need to finish for Saturday. And then if Morgan is able to come home for Thanksgiving, which we're hoping, fingers crossed, I need to get a present done for her and her boyfriend. And then I also need to get something finished for Dalton. And we're going to celebrate Christmas per se with them after Thanksgiving before they go back home. And then Preston and Dalton and I will then celebrate Christmas at Christmas time. So we're going to have 2 Christmases this year. So, but I have lots to do to get done for when Morgan and Logan come home, if they get to come home. So it's all going to be contingent upon work and all that good stuff. So we'll see. Video next week. I probably will be coming to you in the evening. We've got another storm coming in Monday into Tuesday, which will probably put Preston on night shift. I might, if I know with absolution that he's going to be on nights on Tuesday, I might do it on Monday. It'll just kind of depend upon how the week falls and whatnot. I won't have as many projects, obviously, because I kicked in a few extras for my monthly goals. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And I'm sorry to have to bounce around like that for you guys, but you know, hopefully you understand that it just depends upon life. Morgan and I are talking about hoping to do a video when she's home over Thanksgiving, but no guarantees because, I mean, holiday, celebrating Christmas, you know, all those kind of things. So I don't know for sure what we're going to do yet, but that's our plan. And if we do that, so next week will be the, 17th? Yeah, right? 7 and 12 is, no, the 19th. Math. So if I come to you on the 19th, and then the next week, would be the 26th, I might go ahead and do, Dalton will be home from break, but I might go ahead and do a video that week. So then when she and I do our video at the end of the week, it's not quite as long because she'll have stuff to show, and then I can just show you those 3 or 4 days worth of stuff. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Once we get into December and Dalton is home and whatnot, the videos might get a little bit more sporadic. We'll just have to wait and see what December brings. I'm telling you all this because I don't know what plans will be in place between him being home and working and Preston being on night shift or not. And yeah, so I think that's everything. I am going to clean up my very large mess, and I'm going to get to work on quilts and see if I can make a dent on my project. I will have a picture of it to show you, hopefully, if everything goes well, when I do my video next week. So I think that's everything. I think I've said everything. Yeah. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful week, and thank you for subscribing and watching our channel. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, and until next week, stay safe, stay warm, especially if you're getting any of the weather like we're getting, and just remember, guys, to be kind. Have a great day.